Okay, okay, got it, got it. Machine sewing project? Taken care of. I got this. Okay, you guys, guess what? Miss Julia, I got you, Miss Julia. Miss Julia just told me that there are 37 days until camp starts, so the official countdown has begun. So I think we should probably do a project that'll be really awesome for machine sewing camp. Or maybe handwork if you decide you like hand sewing a little bit better than that. Come on, I'll show you what we're going to do. To make your easy machine sewn scrunchie, you'll need a few items. You'll need straight pins to hold everything together. You'll need a tape measure to measure your fabric. You'll need cotton fabric. Now, your cotton fabric is going to measure 4 inches wide by 12 inches long. The reason for that is that if you cut your fabric too long, your scrunchie will be much too bunchy. You'll also need a bit of elastic. This is the stretchy stuff that goes inside. This elastic measures 1/2 inch wide. Anything wider is going to be too tough to tie around a ponytail. And you want to cut your elastic at 5 inches in length. To begin, take your cotton fabric and fold it right sides together. That means good sides to good sides. And what you'll start to create is a long tube. Using your straight pins, pin your cut edges or your raw edges together. You want to place your pins about 1 hand's length apart. So there's my first pin. Let's put my second pin right here. Once you've pinned down the entire length of the strip, you'll be ready to sew. We're going to use our 1/2 inch seam allowance. We'll take out this first pin since we're all set underneath our presser foot. And then we're going to begin stitching. Don't forget to backstitch the beginning and end of each seam. Now that I've sewn my entire tube, I've left an opening on one end and an opening at the other, and I'm going to turn this right side out. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can just peel back like a banana and push through, or I like this method, which I think is very quick and easy. It's using a safety pin. I attach a safety pin to the tube, and then I close it, and I turn the pin in. So what I now do is I push the fabric onto the safety pin until I just can't hold anymore. And then I take the bulk of the fabric and then I pull it over the pin. And then I continue to push and then pull. This is what I like to call the push-push-pull method. Pretty genius, right? And then you pull your entire tube right side out. You can take your safety pin off, and now you're going to insert your elastic. So I use my safety pin again for that. I attach my safety pin to the elastic, and then I do the same method. I push my elastic through. Now, the trick though is not losing the end of your elastic. So if you need an adult to help you with this, why don't you go and call them into the room now in case you need an extra hand to hold on to that loose end. So you use the same thing. You push the fabric over the pin, and then you pull. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, so I can hold on to this end here. So we're just going to push and push and push until we come through the other side. There's our pin. And so now we've got a bunch of fabric here. So now I'll take my safety pin, and I'm going to pin both ends together so that I don't lose them. And now we're ready to head back to the machine. Now I have unpinned my 2 elastic edges, and now I'm going to overlap them. This is how they're going to connect for the inside of your scrunchie. Take a straight pin and pin them. It's going to be kind of difficult to sew without it being pinned. So let's just pin that together there. And then you're going to place that underneath your presser foot. So this is going to be tricky. You want to pull all of your loose fabric back, and then you'll be ready to stitch. And you can just do a straight line right down the middle. Once you put your presser foot down, you can lower your needle and then take your pin out. And so then you're going to stitch forward and then back. And then forward and now then back. Now that I have my elastic securely sewn, we're going to put the finishing touches on. We're going to take the ends of our tubes and just tuck them in just like that. Do one side and then we will tuck the other. And then you want to bring those two together. You can just kind of move that fabric around a little bit. You're then going to take one end and tuck it inside the other folded edge. Make sure you turn it over and tuck that side too. Then you can secure that with a straight pin. Remember, your straight pins are your friend. They hold everything in place for you. And then we're going to do one straight stitch straight down the middle, and that's going to hold all of our layers together. There you have it, my friends, a quick and easy hair tie that you can machine sew all by yourself. Be sure to join us next week, my friends, for another edition of How To Tuesday.